What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to Abby Thrifts. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Abby and I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark and eBay. And today I'm going to be talking about how I paid off $10,000 of debt in 2022. I'm really excited to get started, so let's do it. Actually, before we get started, two quick things. So number one, if you have any interest in donating to Feeding America or the National Stuttering Association, I have a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description, so you can donate any amount. I think it starts at like 5, 10, 15. If you donate on there, I will give you a shout out in my next video. You can label exactly what charity you want your money to go to, and every single penny of that money you donate is going to go to that charity. So again, if you feel like supporting, go ahead and click on the description and the Buy Me a Coffee link, and that'll pull right up and you can donate right there. And second, if you want to help your girl out on the YouTube algorithm, go ahead and give this video a like or give me a subscribe. I would appreciate either. Okay, let's get started. Back to everyone's favorite topic, debt. I think everyone has been in debt at one time or another, and when you are in debt, it is the worst feeling ever because you know eventually that you're gonna have to pay it back. Well, today I'm gonna share with you 6 things that helped me pay off $10,000 in 2022. Number one, I saved a $1,000 emergency fund, and this emergency fund has come in handy so often. I cannot even tell you. You cannot pay off debt unless you have money to fall back on, because you don't even know the kinds of things that life is going to throw at you. And I'm sure you've already experienced a big chunk of that. I mean, one second you think you're ahead and the next life is like, hey, here is something for you. I'm gonna make you pay for a new car part, or I'm gonna give you a flat tire, or I'm gonna give you this random bill that you're gonna have to pay for. So that has come in handy so often when I've had to pay a random vet bill, or I needed a new car battery, or I needed to pay a bill of some kind. It has been a lifesaver to have even the smallest cushion of $1,000 sitting in my bank, to where I can be like, hey, if I need something, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna use this money, and I'm gonna pay for it, and that doesn't take away from the money that I am wanting to put towards debt. I am no financial expert, but for me that has worked so well. So I would suggest, before even paying off debt, to create some kind of emergency fund. Even if it's $500, even if it's $200, I would say aim for $1,000. But before you pay off debt, you need that cushion, because you don't know what's coming ahead of you. You have no idea what life is gonna throw at you. So I would say be prepared, have that emergency fund, and take care of yourself before something random happens and you can't, and you're not prepared. Number 2 is gonna sound a little funky and maybe a little obvious, but I paid off $10,000 of debt this year by prioritizing paying off debt. And again, I know that sounds crazy. I know that may be easier said than done, but I am a saver. I consider myself to be a saver. And when I have XYZ left over at the end of every check, what I want to do, what my instincts want me to do, what my heart and mind so badly want me to do, is put all of that money into savings, because I have so many things that I want to save for. Just like you guys, I'm sure you have so many things that you want to save for. You want that new car, you want that big house, you want to go on a trip, you want XYZ. And for me, I have all of those goals in my mind too, but you can't buy any of those things. You can't put that money in savings and just let it sit there until you've paid off your debt. At least that's how I think about it. So again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a professional at this. This is just the way that I've done it and the way that it's worked for me. But I have not put any money in savings. Here and there, I'll put $50, I'll put $100 just to keep it above 1,000. So for right now, I think my savings account is at $1,400. So if I have a little bit left over at the end of every month, yeah, I'll throw $100 in there, because I want to see that savings account grow. I want to see the money in there grow, but even more than that, I want to pay off my debt and be debt free. So if you're like me and you're also struggling between putting money in savings or throwing money at debt, just remember that if the more money you throw at debt, the quicker you will be done with debt, and the quicker you will be able to build wealth, get out of that hole of debt, and move forward with your life. Number 3, I consistently threw money at my debt. No matter how small it was, no matter how big it was, no matter if it was just a few cents, I consistently threw money at my debt. And what kind of kept me on track was, I have this sitting here right now. So my debt, I don't think I've mentioned this yet in the video, but my debt is student loans. I also have some credit card debt that I'm working on paying down. So this, for me, this has been my guide throughout this whole process. As you can see down here, my goal is 12,000. I'm actually very close to 10,000 right here. So this next paycheck, this will actually hit 10,000. It's at 9,525 right now. So we will be there in about a month, but this is kind of what kept me on track. So like I said, I consistently threw money at my debt, and I kept track of it through this. So I started it with January, and then I moved to February and March, and every month I put down the amount that I paid and then colored it with a different marker. I know it's going to be different for everyone. I know everyone is going to have a different organizational system, a way that they are going to want to do things, and for me, this is what it was. What I also did to keep track was, every time I paid something off through the website that I put money towards, I printed out my total. So every time I put money towards it, I printed out my total and hung it up. And so for me, looking at that every single morning, I was like, okay, this is how much I have to pay off, and that kept me on track with my goal. So if you have any extra money laying around per month, 25 bucks, 10 bucks, throw it towards your debt, because you never know how quickly that stuff is going to add up. You just don't. So help yourself out. Throw any amount you can at your debt. Number 4 is a big one. I am living on less than half of my actual income. So I have XYZ coming in per month, and I'm living on less than half of that. So in order for me to do that, that means I'm buying the cheapest stuff at the store. I am being overly cautious about the things that I'm doing, what I'm buying, what I'm choosing to buy, what I'm choosing to spend my time on. I am not investing. I'm not going on trips. I'm not spending money on personal items. I'm not doing any of that. I know in a year I will be able to do that stuff, even the next couple of months, if everything goes the way that I'm planning it to go. But I know there will be a point in my life where I will be able to invest. I will be able to bulk up that savings account. I will be able to go on trips, buy amazing gifts for people, and spend all my money at Target in one sitting. I know that time is coming for me, and that time is coming for you guys too. So just keep thinking about your goal, keep thinking about where you want to be with your debt, and focus on that, because at some point in your life, it will be all over, and you will never have to deal with that again. It will be over, and you will never have to deal with it again. And that is just the picture that I'm keeping in my head. So if I have to live on less than half of my actual income right now, that is completely fine with me, because I know it's going to be different in less than 5 months. By next year, in a year from now, it'll be completely different, because my goals will be different then. So if you're struggling with kind of how to budget and how much money's coming in, how much money is going out on bills and stuff like that, just remember, actually something that I like to keep in mind is, it's not about how much money you're bringing in, it's about what you do with that money. And I think that is something that I've really kept close to heart and just remembered from, you know, every day just waking up and thinking about my debt. So it does not matter how much money you have, it's what you do with it. And if you really want to pay off debt, just keep focusing on that goal. Number 5 kind of goes along with number 4 a little bit, but it's remembering my goal of being debt-free as soon as possible. And I know, again, that seems easier said than done, but just remembering why you're spending less than half of your actual income, you're not putting anything towards savings, why you're not going out as much, why you're not buying people gifts, why you're not going on trips. Remember the reason, remember your goal, remember why you're doing all of this, because it's going to pay off. You cannot move forward in your financial future until your debt is paid off. I do know from Dave Ramsey, I watch him all the time. Sometimes during work, I'll have my headphones in and just kind of listening to some of those random calls that come in, but student loans are not bankruptable. You cannot claim bankruptcy on student loans specifically. I do not know anything about any other type of loans, so maybe credit cards and other house stuff, I don't know about that. In my life right now, I am focused on paying off my student loans, and I just know I can't go, hey, I can't pay these, so anyway, just take them off my record or whatever. Like, it doesn't work like that. So if you're also in the same boat of paying off student loans, you can do it. You can absolutely do it. The goal is attainable. It is attainable no matter where you're at. You just have to stay focused on your goal. You can do it. And the final tip I have for you, number 6, is I surrounded myself with amazing, encouraging, and supportive people. Every time I went to pay off even the slightest bit of my debt, I shared it with my boyfriend, I shared it with my closest friends, and they showered me with love and encouragement and affection. You need to find yourself some friends who are going to do that for you. Surround yourself with supportive, encouraging people. Let them know of your goals. For me, I let my boyfriend know about my goals, and he has been so supportive. He has helped me in so many ways that I can't even explain. I've shared my goals with my friends. They have been so outwardly supportive of what I'm doing. So as much as I want to go on girl trips with them to Cancun and Toronto and all these amazing places, I'm putting that on hold, and they know that. They have their own goals as well, so we're kind of supporting each other, and it's just this cycle of encouragement and positivity and love. So if you don't have that, go find some friends who are going to support you and encourage you. I will support you and encourage you. You need to find those people, surround yourself with that, and just remember your goals, because that is the most important thing. So I just wanted to show you my jar one more time, just because we're at the end of the video, and those were the 6 things I wanted to share with you on how I paid off $10,000 of debt this year. So like I said, I'm about $500 away, but this has kept me so accountable, and literally I just drew this on a piece of paper. I do not have any art skills at all, but I drew this with a pen, and I just copied off of someone else online. So if you want to do something similar to this, you literally just have to find a blank piece of paper, draw whatever you want. It doesn't even have to be a jar shape. You could draw a star. You could draw a sponge for SpongeBob. I just thought of star for a Patrick star. You could draw a square. You could draw anything. You could draw a snow globe. You could draw whatever you want and fill in whenever you accomplish that goal. And I've been really grateful for this, because it's just been something that's helped keep me on track. And I know they sell this kind of stuff on Etsy too, so if you're an Etsy shopper, I know there's people out there that have this kind of thing. But if you're interested, this is your inspo. This is what you need. This is gonna help keep you on track. I'm a very visual person, so I needed something like this to look at. I actually have this hanging on my fridge. I just took it off for this video, but every time I walk by my fridge, I'm like, I am so proud of myself. And you're gonna be so proud of yourself once you get all of your debt paid off. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. See you guys later.